Well, one of my favorite stories is actually something that took place in Chicago at a restaurant. We had a couple of executives from the company were there, a couple of these top spirits writers, very upscale place. And Booker, of course, orders the ham. Next to bourbon, Booker loved ham. He had a smokehouse in his backyard in his house. He was a connoisseur of hams, too. So the ham comes out, and he takes a couple bites of it, disgusted, throws the fork and knife down. Doesn't like this ham at all. This ain't ham.
He throws me the keys to his car. He was on his way driving from Kentucky to Alaska for a fishing trip. So he throws the keys and says, Jim, go in my trunk. I got a ham in there. Bring it on in here.
Open up the trunk, and two things struck me when I opened up the trunk was how large this ham was. I mean, it was not a small ham. This was, at one time, been a very large pig, I thought. Another thing that struck me, there was nothing else in the trunk. So I was thinking, man, he packs really lightly. I mean, I picked this thing up, and I made my way across the parking lot, went into the restaurant, and the maitre d', of course, stops me. He says, sir, you can't bring food into a restaurant. And I just pointed across the restaurant at Booker, who was wearing a cowboy hat for some reason. He wore it on special occasions. He had this matching vest and his cowboy hat. And I said, you tell it to that guy over there. So the maitre d', Booker made eye contact with the maitre d'. The maitre d' starts, all right, follow me, sir. We bring the ham down, we put it on the table. Booker takes out some kind of like fishing knife. I'm a city guy, I didn't know what it was. He starts hacking off pieces of it, passing it around to the guests at the table, then makes the waitress, a poor woman, come over, makes her eat it, then makes the waitress go back and get the chef. So he has to come out and he has to taste it because
I want you to taste ham the way it's supposed to be. Booker demands a lot when it comes to flavor, and it has to be big. So I actually kind of felt bad for the chef, forcing him to come out there and eating it. But I could tell after he ate the ham, he actually loved it.
And afterwards, I asked Booker, I said, do you always travel with a ham? And he goes, oh yeah, I always have a ham in my trunk in case of emergencies. I remember him thinking that, wow, this is the emergency ham.
I learned a lot of lessons about Booker during his hunt for big, full flavor. And it didn't stop with bourbon.
I'm Jim Koukouris, and this is my boss, Booker.